Greetings and salutations to all viewers. Welcome to our video, and today my group and I will very much be pleased to share our views on the topic most common worker problems and the standard procedure of employee dismissal. So here are the cast in this video, starting with Eldrin, Avila, Zulaika, Jesselyn, and myself, Jonathan. Together, we will be sharing with you all our perspectives on 4 most common worker problems in Malaysia, including accidents, absenteeism, extended work hours, and sexual harassment. Moreover, we'll also be sharing the standard procedure of employee dismissal, including when to dismiss an employee and the 7 general steps of employee dismissal under the Malaysian law, and also our own synthesis and conclusion on this topic.
So now I'm going to talk about accidents in workplace. Accidents in workplace can happen at any time, and it may involve injuries or even death. This can impact other employees, making them feel unsafe or demotivated. Accidents can happen from the failing of a company on ensuring the safety of their machines. However, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, accidents usually happen from slips, trips, and falls. Such as this case in 2018, a construction company in Perak named Tunas Gemilang TKK Enterprise was charged because they failed to seal a pit at a construction site, taking the life of a foreign worker.
Absenteeism. Employee that absent from work more than 2 consecutive working days without reasonable excuse are considered to have broken his contract of service with the manager. Survey by Bernama showed that the absenteeism are related to the Malaysia's workforce that is generally unhealthy and unfit. Average yearly cost loss due to absenteeism is estimated 2.7 million ringgit. There are 3 methods to combat absenteeism, which are: first, monitoring employee absent record; second, interviewing employees; and strike a better work-life balance in the workplace.
Hi, my name is Zulaika. So I will present about the third common problem, extended work hours. So employees must contribute extra hours to complete a specific task or project. Extended work days refer to work schedule having longer than normal worker days. So for example, usually work hours from 7 to 8 hours during per day with 1 hour rest time. The extended time is unusual, where it extends 2 to 3 hours after usual work time or work during non-working days. So the causes sleepiness, lack of motivation, depression, headache. So the solution is to recruit more employees. Well, I will give an example of Poslaju Malaysia. During the MCO, the company had a high demand from customers. So due to lack of staff, parcels were delayed by the receiver. Therefore, Poslaju employees had to work more time to send their customers' parcel. Thank you.
The next problem is sexual harassment. Generally, sexual harassment in workplace is a form of discrimination that includes any comments, behavior regarding sex, gender, or sexual orientation. For example, offensive working environment, which arises from unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of sexual nature. Besides, there are also physical abuse, and this is happen as in direct physical contact such as unwarranted touching, indecent brushing of bodies, uninvited hugging, kissing, or rape.
So when can an employee be dismissed? An employee may have to be dismissed for a variety of reasons. For instance, if they have done some of the problems mentioned before, such as sexual harassment. However, the basic acceptable reasons for dismissing employees are: 1. Misconduct, which has various shades, and the second, poor work performance, which is self-explanatory. To determine the fairness of the dismissal, the employer must prove its substantive fairness and procedural fairness, whereby substantive fairness goes to the root of the decision, which is the main problem, and procedural fairness refers to the practical implementation of the dismissal process. The 7 general steps of employee dismissal under the Malaysian law. If an employee is suspected of having done a major misconduct, the employer must conduct a procedurally fair dismissal following these steps. Number 1. Inform the employee of his charges in writing. Second, give the employee reasonable amount of time to respond to the charges. Third, if he is suspended pending the inquiry, ensure that the inquiry takes place as soon as possible following the commencement of his suspension. Fourth, conduct the domestic inquiry with a group of impartial panel, which means persons who are not in direct contact with the employee as part of his job scope and are not connected to the misconduct. The number 5 is allow witnesses if relevant, depending on the nature of the charge. The 6th step is to document the proceedings properly. And lastly, go through the inquiry as a matter of course and not be seen to have prejudged the matter. So these steps above are only a general guide. The employer must seek legal advice on the specific matter before making a decision on how to conduct the domestic inquiry. This process is very subjective and involves concepts such as due inquiry and natural justice. As a conclusion, there are various types of personalities and behaviors from various types of employees in the workplace. The same goes to the various types of worker problems caused by a number of factors. One controllable factor is the work environment, which is the employer's responsibility to provide a comfortable environment for his or her employees. Nonetheless, there are still a lot of other uncontrollable factors which will need strictness from employers and may even lead to dismissal for the greater good of the company. The Malaysian employment law seeks to balance the right of employees to be secure in their jobs and the rights of employers to decide how to manage their businesses, including the hiring and firing of employees. As long as an employer maintains a healthy employment relationship, ensuring that the employee is treated in an open and fair manner in good faith, the law is not unfairly weighted in favor of the employee. And hence, the dismissal of an employee can just be considered as a fair trade for his or her misconduct in order to keep the company in good working terms and for the benefit of every other employees present there. And with that, we have come to the end of the video with our list of references. We would like to thank you all for watching. Stay safe and stay healthy.